In a span of just 3 years, the Lunar Client mod pack went from only appealing to a few players of a relatively small but competitive community to attracting thousands of players from different multiplayer game modes within Minecraft. In 2021, the client saw nearly 3.5 million downloads, and that number has been growing ever since. It seems like discussions surrounding the client are really everywhere you look. From YouTube, to Twitch, to Discord, to in-game servers, this client truly is revolutionary. But why is it so popular? What separates the Lunar Client from all of its competitors? Or how did it even surpass its competitors? In this video, we'll analyze the main reasons as to why Lunar Client literally took off and has now completely taken over the multiplayer PvP aspect of Minecraft. I won't go too much into their background since that could be an entire video in itself, but briefly speaking, Lunar Client was created by members of the infamous MineHQ PvP server and was first released in 2019. It succeeded the CheatBreaker client, which was the previous client created by the same group of people that shut down operations after its quote-unquote drama in mid-2018. Now, coming off an already somewhat bad reputation within the community, the team behind Lunar had no real margin for mistakes if they really wanted to take this project far, which brings me to my first point, functionality. The team at Lunar first worked on making the client deliver its core purpose. After all, it is a PvP client, and PvP clients are mostly used by PvP players that desire modifications and adjustments which help their gameplay, and Lunar Client did just that. They offer many famous PvP mods and have made them compatible with other famous PvP mods, utilizing them under each mod's licensing terms and presenting them in an organized menu that offers a much smoother gameplay and overall higher frames per second. Yes, that is right, a higher average FPS, which is another important factor when it comes to players choosing their mode of gameplay. There have been many FPS benchmark tests conducted on YouTube that compare Lunar Client to its competitors, some of which have been around for quite some time now, and Lunar seemingly surpasses all of them in terms of getting higher FPS and smoothness in general. Okay, they have a proper framework of their project that works quite well, but how do they go about presenting it to the public? This brings me to my second point, which is their branding. A prominent 20th century American art and graphic designer, Paul Rand, once said that your design is the silent ambassador of your brand. Truly, the team behind Lunar has recognized the value and importance of their design, which has really elevated their image in the community. Let me ask you a question. When you think of Lunar Client, what are some colors that you think of? If your answer is something like black, white, gray, and maybe blue, then the design team for Lunar have really excelled with their task of making this professional image around the client. You top it all off with a beautiful asymmetric and minimalistic logo design with a simple but clean in-game GUI, and you've got yourself a masterpiece. Just take a look at some of the brands around you and you'll notice the similar minimalistic look that a lot of companies have transitioned towards, which really is critical in today's day and age. Their brand design is consistent throughout all online platforms, like their social media pages in terms of updates and advertisements, their website when it comes to offering in-game cosmetic add-ons and merchandise, as well as their official server within the game. Alright, they have an exceptional functioning product and a clean, consistent brand around it. But how do new players find out that such a client even exists? This brings me to my third point, which is their marketing. Without a doubt, Twitch and YouTube are two of the most powerful video platforms that directly spur engagement and higher popularity when it comes to multiplayer gaming, and Minecraft is no different. If you make it big on just one of those two sites, that means you've got thousands of people who at least recognize you, many of whom you've inspired and influenced, and your impact in your community is no less than a celebrity. To grow their reach and expand their audience, Lunar Client has a simple yet successful partnership formula, which is sign an influential content creator with a large following, allow them to release customized cosmetics within the client store that players can purchase, incentivize them to promote those same cosmetics by offering percentage of their sales, and simply release new designs as they grow and obtain more viewership. The more promotion a partner does, the more they make. Here's what happens with this formula. Players get to indirectly support their favorite creators, get an opportunity to be affiliated with a partner and their community, and get unique cosmetics for themselves that the store doesn't offer otherwise. The partners get a source of income based on commission, offer custom cosmetics that match their brand and have a personalized message behind them, and get a chance to engage with their audience through memberships and promotions. Lunar Client itself benefits by directly feeding off of promotions by influential partners, as the more downloads the client gets, the more a partner can potentially make, since players spend real money on cosmetics, which can only be seen by people with the client. They retain many current users. And finally, the more money it makes, the more creators it can target, allowing them to simply repeat the entire process. Now, let's say another client emerges out of nowhere and has a properly functioning client, has good branding surrounding it, and even has the same marketing strategy. What would stop the players who haven't spent any money on cosmetics to simply abandon Lunar and switch to this client? This brings me to my final point, which is their reputation. Lunar is a PvP client, hence it strives to maintain this image that people who use their product are at least quite decent at swinging their sword. They have a competitive and dedicated practice server that has seen many veteran and sweaty players that came into prominence over the years. The rise of Lunar on the Hypixel network in 2020 is another example that fits my assertion, where good and experienced players in their communities are often seen with the Lunar Client badge beside their name tags. To answer the question on whether or not a player who hasn't spent any money would simply switch to a similar client, well, chances are they will hesitate and possibly continue using Lunar because of the reputation that the Lunar Client possesses. Players feel a sense of loyalty to this client that houses many good Minecraft PvP players and the communities they're part of. To get more insights on similar Minecraft topics, consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you.